What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's Jesse Spec YouTube video. Today I show you my new car, and before all of you think that I went cheating on the whole JDM culture and everything and I'm gonna leave Japanese cars forever, hold your horses and hear me out, because I'm gonna show you my new Lotus Elise and why it's such an awesome car. And without further ado, join me and let's dive right into it. Okay, so a couple of informations regarding this car. So this is a 2006 Lotus Elise 111R. It has 192 horsepower and it's a 2006 model in this metallic white color with the black wheels. So the car is almost 100% stock, and I should also mention that it has roughly 42,000 kilometers, so it's almost like new. It didn't even go one time around the whole planet. So it's really low mileage and it's in excellent condition, and it's a great base to start modifying it. There are a few little modifications on it that I will show you, and let's just walk through it and let me show you all the things on it. Let me walk you through the current modifications, if I like them or not, and what I'm going to be doing from there. So let's go. Okay, so today I have an assistant with matching hats, Mizuki. She's helping me out today with filming, so yoroshiku ne. First thing I feel that I have to show to any person who wants a Lotus is how to take off the soft top. So I'd like to comment about this. This soft top is really an awesome design feature, because actually how it works is you have a cable inside these both areas and you will put tension on it, and this is what's gonna keep water and air from coming inside the car. So let me show you how to remove that. Okay, so to remove the soft top, it's actually really easy. You can see here we have two latches, one here and one here. So what happens is you unclip those and then this comes off. And then what I like to do is I'll just wrap it up like this. Then you have one first plastic part here. You remove this. I like to put it in here. I'll go from the other side. You can same thing as on this side. You remove this, start rolling them up, and then you take again this part out and put it like this, and there you have the soft top that is removed. You goodie. Okay, and now that you know how to remove it, I'll show you how quick it is to put it back. Honestly, when I bought the car, I was too lazy to look on YouTube, so I thought I'll just show you how I do it. So it's very easy. So to begin with, I like to put all this in the middle, and important things are these two sticks here. As you can see, there are some arrows here. Okay, so these ones, you put them in here, and then you bend it and put it like this as well. Okay, and then the same thing over there. So here, arrow on this side, and then put it in here, bend it, and like this. And very easy. So remember I told you there's a cable inside this part. So we're just gonna unroll everything, put everything like this, and I'll show you quickly this side first. So the key point is you have a gasket here, right? and here as well. It's really important that the cord inside here goes through here, because that's what's going to keep water and dust and everything from coming out. Another important feature, you can look here, is the arrows here as well. These have to be facing forward, just like the sticks here. And then what you do is this part has to go in here. Same on the other side. By the way, we were talking about the cable. Here you can see the cable. So what you do is you put this in like this, front and rear, and very easy, and you clips it. And then now you make sure that the cable sits nice and flush inside here. Then I will do the same thing on this side. You take this part, tighten it, hook it in like I just said, and once it clips, it's done, and you have a very nicely fitting, waterproof soft top. Honestly, pretty genius design, I must say. I really like this. And in comparison to the MR2, where for example you can do some sketchy roof closing while you're driving, this is not possible, of course, because you have to put the sticks back in and everything. But I like better how this soft top looks like compared to the MR2 one. So that's it for the soft top. Alright, for all you guys haters and all these other guys who have the feeling I cheated on you, I left the JDM world and am cheating on you guys with an English car. Well, guess what? Let me show you why I actually bought this car, and you will see that I didn't totally cheat on you guys. Come on over. Now, for all you guys who know me, you know I love the MR2 so much. I love Toyota engines. I love the Yamaha Toyota production combinations and everything. So let me show you why I decided to buy this. What do we have here? Does that look familiar to any of you guys? What is this? Let me come over, film the engine a little bit. What do we have here? Mimi, 何のエンジンでしょうか、これ。
2ZZ かな?
So, it is a 2ZZ. What a surprise. So anyway, let me explain to you quickly why I decided to buy this. So, for all you guys who know me, you know that I'm a big fan of the 2ZZ engine, of the MR2 platform and everything. And you know, in Switzerland, when you buy a car like that, when you, let's say, swap an engine into an MR2 like I did, it's not like in the US where you can just drive around with it on the road and everything. That does not happen here, because if you do that, your car gets impounded, you get arrested, and you get huge fines. So that's something really we're not allowed to do here. And so in order to avoid getting in trouble, I decided to take the MR2 off the road and make a pure race car out of it. But you can see that I just felt something was missing in my life, and I really wanted to continue driving the 2ZZ on the road because it's such an amazing engine and combination. So what do we have here? A lightweight sports car with a midship engine and with a super cool 2ZZ in it. And on top of that, it even gets better. It has the same gearbox I had in my MR2, the C60 6-speed transmission in it as well, but 200 kilos lighter than the MR2. And on top of that, it has double wishbone suspension front and rear. So it's a great package. So I'm really looking forward to being able to continue to have an open top that I can drive on the road with a 2ZZ in it. So I hope you guys understand and forgive me for not buying a Japanese car, although could we consider it a Japanese or at least half Japanese car, since the heart and the brain, should I say, are Japanese? Let me know in the comments below. So this one is the 192 horsepower version, and a difference that there is with the MR2 is that it actually has a little trunk here. Maybe you can come over. As you guys can see, we have the engine here, gearbox as well, but we actually have a trunk. The MR2 doesn't have a trunk. It has a trunk in the front only, but it's actually made for the spare wheel, so there isn't really a trunk. Whereas this one, you can actually put a little bag where to go on the weekend with your wife or girlfriend or whatever. So yeah, anyway, let me show you the rest of the cool things about this car. So as you can tell here by the sound, this is not metal, so it's all fiberglass. So this car is actually mostly made of a huge fiberglass shell with an aluminum bucket, it looks like a bathtub almost. So basically you're sitting in a aluminum bathtub with a fiberglass body around it. And there are many awesome features about it. First of all, you have this really nice design of the airflow going into the engine like this. I really like, for the heat extraction, how much effort they put into that. You have the gasoline lid here. You have functional vents that go into the engine in order to cool it better. What is really amazing, and that's one thing that is missing on the MR2, is a rear diffuser stock. As you can see here, this car, from an aerodynamics perspective, they really put a lot more effort than in the MR2. So you have this awesome diffuser. There's also a sports muffler from Larini on here. Very nice LED lights in the back. That is really a design feature I like. This car really looks so good from the back. It's really amazing. So let's continue further on. Let's come to one first modification of the car that I do not like so much. As you can see here, we have the stock wheels. So the tires are Ciron. I don't know this brand, but it's really not a very good brand. But what bothers me more, and that I could really feel it less on the back but more on the front, is that it has spacers in here. So there's aluminum spacers. Mimi, come over closer. As you can see here, you have the brake here, the wheel here, and you have a 15 or 20 mil spacer in that. And in all honesty, that is a great way how to mess up your handling on a car that is so sharply set up like this. Also, sacrilege, putting garbage tires like this on a sports car like that is really a shame. As you can see, the brakes are done, so that's going to be a future mod that I'm going to do. There's a little bit of ridiculous easy lip on this. It doesn't look that bad, but I don't like it so much. Oh yeah, let me show you something interesting about the Lotus. An interesting fact about this car, and that's something I didn't see so much on other cars, is you have 17-inch wheels in the back and 16-inch wheels in the front, which makes it that's something that actually the only times you see it is on midship engines. Honestly, I don't exactly know why engineers have done that, but if you have a good explanation for that, write it in the comments below. I'd appreciate it very much. So we were talking about the 16-inch wheels. As you can see, the front wheels are actually already better. It's Continental tires. The rotors are done. The pads are still okay. Looks like somebody painted the calipers in yellow. That's something I might actually change in the future. But what I don't like, again, and that is really something, guys,
don't put spacers on cars like this or on any car,
because that's how you mess up your alignment. And basically the pivot angle is what you mess up with that, and your track gets wider. So many people think that it actually improves the handling, but I can tell you this car has so much bump steer. I could snap off both of my thumbs in the steering wheel because when I go over little bumps. So that's really something that you should not put on your cars, and that's the first thing I'm gonna get rid of immediately. The wheels will go in a little bit further. This is like a 15 mil one. Let me come over and you can show them that the spacer, it's this gray part in between here. Can you see it? That's a 15 mil spacer, and that's really something you should not put on your car. It really, these cars, they put a lot of effort in tuning the suspension and everything. And that's also goes it also goes with the fact that when you choose wheel offsets, be sure to be in acceptable measures or in measures that are proven to work. And I can tell you that 15 mil spacers with the stock wheels on front really feel, so don't do that. Advice to all Lotus owners. So this car from the front also is simply amazing. What you guys have to imagine is a Lotus, the radiator is actually not in front like in many cars, but it's actually laying down like this. And what they do is they've gone through a lot of research and development to get the air flowing through here, then up out through the hood here with the scoops here. And since the radiator is here, you have all this cooling air going through there. And that's not just for cooling purposes. The fact that you spoon the air through the front like this will actually improve downforce on the front axle. So that's really something that I love about this car as well. And being an MR2 lover, that's just something that I know that on the MR2 they did not put that much effort. I'm convinced you can make it better, but this is really something that I love about this car. So we have these dual headlights, and the blinkers in here. Looks pretty nice. You have air ducts as well on each side. I really think the front and the rear on these cars just looks amazing. So come on over and let's take a look at the inside. Interesting and a little bit old school way of opening doors. You push here and it opens the door. And as you can see here, everything, fiberglass. There's also fiberglass. And here, you see the aluminum tub that I'm talking about here. So I'm gonna get into the car. Another cool little mod that is in this car actually. So getting into a Lotus is always very funny. But this one actually has a quick release. And this really nice Momo steering wheel that you can see like this with a quick release. And these cars, as crazy as that may seem, come without an airbag from the factory. It's a 2006, so they should be having airbags since the 90s already, but these ones do not have. And also you do not have ABS on this car. So no ABS, no airbags.
You die like a man.
In these kind of cars. What I should also mention is, inside here you have a roll bar. So this car is considered like really sturdy because you have this frame here and this here. So this is really like, it's like if you had a little hidden roll cage inside here. You can see this car has a special edition Lotus sports seats. Sadly, these seats do not fit me at all. And let me demonstrate that to you right now. So, getting in a Lotus is always funny for a tall guy. So I'm 1.96 m, 497 kilos. I've lost a little bit of weight. Not for this car, but I've lost anyway some weight. So getting in, usually they say put your butt in first, then you can sit down here. So you can see that it's really tight for me. And maybe, I don't know, maybe if you can show them, but what hurts me is this part right here. I have really wide hips and this part is really annoying me. So when I sit on it, it's really not very comfortable. So that's really something I want to ask you guys. If any of you guys have the same problem with this car, tell me if you have a good solution for that in the comments below, because it's really driving me nuts to a point where I'm just gonna rip these wonderful seats out and do something else about it. So here you see, that was my phone. So here you see the steering wheel, put it in like this. Here we go. So here you have the next problem for me is I have no space for my feet, my legs. It hits against the steering wheel, in spite of the fact that this is actually a closer steering wheel. So that's something I'm gonna have to improve as well, because that's not gonna be sustainable. There's a bird making weird noises over there. So other than that, this car has this steering wheel, and the other thing that it has is I just put a USB compatible radio, just so at least some sound. This one does not have a air conditioning either, so it's really the super light version. And I don't know if this is from the factory as well, the do not slam sticker, but these doors really, they close really nicely, so you do not need to do hard, and they're out of fiberglass, so you really shouldn't be slamming the doors like that, because it makes a huge noise and it doesn't feel right. So here you get a better idea of how tight it is in this interior. I like actually the dash, how it looks. It's the old school version, but it's really nice with the Lotus hunk. One thing also I don't quite get is the color they decided to make the dash. It's a little bit of weird color, and also very interesting way of having a compartment to put stuff in. Also very nice aluminum shift knob, but one essential thing that is missing is a cup holder. There are no cup holders in this car, so that's something also I would like to have. So for me, this car is really a street car, you know, so I like enjoying a fast car on the street as well. Also interesting design feature, I don't know if you can see this here. We have the lights here, see? And then here's the big lights, and here you have the fog light as well. Pretty interesting way of using these things. Another really strange design feature is, look at these absolutely nasty looking blinker parts and everything. That is really something I never understood why they didn't update those. They are like the same ones that were in the first Lotuses. That's like the only thing I think in the interior that I really don't like, is these blinker things. Even the MR2 ones look better, to be honest. Another cool feature, as you can see, I'm pretty tall, but my eyes are really still a little bit high. I ideally would like to be sitting with my eyes in the middle of the windshield. That's not going to happen immediately, at least until I figure out how to free up some space in here. But one thing I like are these sun visors that they installed in here. Really tiny ones, but super efficient. Like, it really cuts off exactly at the right height, and you can really block the sun out without overly covering the windshield with, like in some other cars. So that's really cool, actually. I really like this aspect about it. Really, there's only the essentials, and that's really something that I love about this car. And I really like how they, you know, going through all this effort for aero, lightweightness, and now they have an awesome engine and transmission. I think it's about time we take this car for a spin and that you understand how much I like it. Let's go, Mimi, join me. Look at this view. This is just crazy, man. Look at the view. Man, this place is amazing. Today, my goodness. Oh my gosh. How's the view from here? Pretty good, I think. What is up? We're back in the Lotus. The footage that I did last week was pretty noisy because I put it just up here with the view towards the front, and all the wind was blowing into the microphone, which made really sound quality. So let's go for another drive today and let me show you a few of the awesome parts, but also some of the things I do not like how the car is handling at the moment, and that will sort of close our introduction of the car. Let's go. So this steering wheel is pretty small, which means that I need a fair amount of force in order to get the car turning. A good trick for everybody who does not have power steering, if you get the car moving just like 1 or 2 kilometers per hour, just a tiny bit, turning the wheel is much harder when you're not moving as when you're moving. If you look, I'm going forward here. It takes much less effort to move the wheel. So when maneuvering, try to do that. It's a good thing to do. Okay, let's head out. So the car is warm, 72 degrees. So let me show you a little bit the engine sound and how it feels when accelerating. It's pretty exhilarating if you ask me, actually. I really like how it feels when driving. By the way, I'm also sorry that I have such a small angled lens, because my sister Julia took my lens and didn't bring it back to me. So she has a cool YouTube channel, by the way, as well. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to work with the 22mm here. Let's get some 2ZZ action. The engine response is really good. You can really feel the lightness of the car when you're driving and you reaccelerate. It picks up so quickly. You can really tell that 200 kilos less on a car compared to the MR2 is really making a difference. Okay, let's give it a little rev, shall we? Just get out of the village first, because the FBI is going to be on my tail after. Okay, ready, steady, go. Wow, this feels good. So one of the things I do not like about this car, the alignment seems to be off, first of things. So you can see the steering wheel is not in the middle, and I don't know if it's due to the fact that it's an aftermarket steering wheel and the guy didn't put the hub on straight, or if it's related to the fact that there is a alignment problem I'd have to look at. That's something I have to fix. One of the next things I'm going to be doing. Another thing that is not ideal on this car is the wheel balancing. As you can imagine, that's something that's going to be solved really quickly with me, but you can tell. I'll go on the highway quickly so you can see it, but at certain speeds you just have the steering wheel doing like that, and yeah, that just shows that the front wheel balancing is totally off, or the wheels are bent. So I'm gonna have to fix that, of course. Let me quickly show you what that looks like. Okay, let's do a little highway entry to see how the car feels. Mostly at 110 or so. You can feel it. You can see how bad the steering wheel is aligned as well. Anyway, so that's one thing that's not okay. The tires that are on the car are super cheap ones that they're really not good, so I'm gonna be changing those as well. And I don't dislike the Lotus stock wheels, but I do feel like I want something else. Not surprising, right? So I'm gonna be changing them, and that's another thing. Also, as you know, this car has spacers, and there's a lot of bumps here. So I'm gonna try to demonstrate that to you to show you what that actually looks like. Join me. Okay, so we're near my house here, and I want to show you what bump steer is. This car has it, and it shouldn't. A sharply set up car like a Lotus Elise should not have this kind of problems, and that is without doubt related to spacers that have been put on the front. 15 mil in the front and 20 in the rear. And what is bump steer? Bump steer is basically you're driving over a bump, and then one of the wheels hits the bump, and you suddenly have a strong move on the steering wheel like that, and that's why it's called bump steer. And that's something that's really dangerous because it makes the car really unpredictable, because you know it's only on perfectly video game-ish kind of circuits that you do not have bumps. So that is something really on the toge where I like to drive hard and everything is not ideal. So you absolutely have to get that in check. So I'm going to try to demonstrate what happens when you hit a bump with it, and you will see that it's really something that at high speeds can be really dangerous. Follow me, let's go check it out. By the way, the view from here is amazing. I'll blend in that quickly right now. Let's go. Okay, here we are. Watch what happens with the steering wheel when I get near it. Look. Boom! Did you see that? It pulled me outwards towards the exit of the curve, and that would be like a total crash, you know. If you do not have your hands on the steering wheel at that moment, you cannot catch it, and then you're in big trouble. All right, we just got back. Anyway, so one last thing that I feel that is a bit weird with this car. It has only 42,000 kilometers, and when I cold started, it seems to really bog down seriously. So I don't know if something has been modified or something is not right, like a sensor or the MAF sensor or something like that. I'm gonna have to look into that, so that's also something small that I have to look at. But otherwise, in general, the car is really amazing. I really love this car, and honestly, I'm so happy that I could find a way to get this car. It's really thanks to the fact that I sold the GT86. And so yeah, this to conclude this video, I really feel that it's good to have a car that you can use on the street. And since I love the 2ZZ and MR2 combination so much, and I cannot drive it legally in Switzerland anymore, I felt like something was really missing, so I decided to go for this car. And of course, as you know me by now, I will be adapting it and putting it to my own taste and specifications. And don't worry, you know that I'm sort of connected to Japan if I want it or not, so you will see. This will maybe be a little bit an unusual way of tuning these cars, but anyway. So always keeping it street legal and roadworthy, that's what I want to do about it. And if you guys are interested in this car and you like Lotuses and you like modifying cars, make sure to like, subscribe and share this video if you know anybody who likes Lotuses as much as I do. And if you're interested in other videos, make sure to check my channel because I have a lot of other Japanese car related stuff. This is the first non-Japanese car I have ever bought in my life, and even this one can be considered a half Japanese because all the engine, the transmission, everything is from Toyota. So no, I have not cheated on all you JDM fanboys and girls, don't worry. And you will see the the modifications that I will do are in accordance to my principles, so don't worry about that. I'll be giving it a cool twist, you will see. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much, all of you, for supporting me in this adventure, really, of doing car videos. I've really developed a new interest and passion for making videos, so I'm really happy as well. I'm enjoying it. I see many people enjoy it as well. So probably when this video comes out, we did not reach yet the 1,000 subscriber mark. So if you haven't, sorry to really bother you with this, but I would really need your support in subscribing and liking this video so it gets pushed further. If you comment, it even gets more pushed. So the more pushed it gets, the more people see it, the more people are likely to subscribe if they like the content. So anyway, thank you so much for your support. Sorry for nagging you about these things each time. That's the only way it's gonna keep growing and make it worthwhile for me. So thank you so much. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.